In order for humanity to survive in this cosmically hostile universe we find ourselves in, we must band together as a species in order to progress technologically, so that we can avoid potentially species-ending events that are going to present themselves to us in the future. So in today's video, we are going to discuss 3 of the most bone-chilling cosmic events that our species will have to face in the future. Number 3. High energy solar flares. As we have discussed before on this channel, the Carrington event of 1859 is an event that our species should look back on and be somewhat terrified by. The reason for this being that we know that high energy solar flares happen very regularly on a cosmic timescale. So if we take into account what we know happened during the Carrington event, then we can come to the conclusion that we must prepare for the possibility that our electronics may be taken out by a solar flare. The aftermath of such a rapid destruction to the electrical grid around the world would set our species back decades, and could possibly even turn into all-out havoc. It is best for our species to be prepared for such a situation, so that we do not experience mass panic around the world, when one day the power shuts off and all of the world's industries come to a halt. Countries that rely on imports for food and other resources would be stuck without all of these essentials, and this could cause a whole nation to turn on each other. Over the past few decades, our species has become much more reliant on technology, which in some ways is not necessarily a bad thing, but under a certain situation like this, a society that has a large portion of its economy wrapped up in technology will see massive negative effects from an instantaneous destruction of their power grid. This situation would not only affect people financially, but it would also cause a huge disruption in social contact. There would, for a time, no longer be telephones and other digital communications devices, as they would have also been destroyed by the solar coronal mass ejection from the sun. This would not only destroy the world population's mental health, as people would not be able to contact their families that live far away from them, but it would also affect communications between countries, which again will have massive negative effects for our species, as the lack of ability to communicate between countries would mean that our species would not be able to put up a united front in solving these problems, as there would be no way of each country contacting each other. While this could be a possible grim future for humanity, I believe that the full-scale negative effects of a high-energy solar flare could be avoided by all countries and governments setting out a plan of what they would do if this situation was to occur, while also providing civilians information on what to do in this situation. I suppose all we can do is wait and see how the governments of the world react to this situation. Number 2. The future of planet Earth. As we all know, our beloved planet Earth will not exist in its current state forever. Eventually the sun will heat up and condemn planet Earth to the same fate as Venus. The increase in the Earth's surface temperature will cause a runaway greenhouse effect, creating conditions on the planet that will be more extreme than present-day Venus. The Earth's surface will be heated enough to melt it, but unfortunately, by this point, all life on the planet will have gone extinct. While this may be in 4 billion years, we will have had to invent technology which will enable us to travel to different star systems in order to find habitable worlds for our species to live on once the planet becomes too hostile. Something that should be slightly more alarming is that in around 1 billion years, all of the water on this planet will have evaporated, basically rendering this planet useless for humanity. While all of this is very terrifying, one of the most positive thoughts we can have about this is that we have, at the bare minimum, 1 billion years to figure out how we can either live in space on a ship like an O'Neill cylinder, or find another Earth-like world and have the ability to travel to that planet fast and be able to transport. It does seem as if time is on our side, but that being said, it is not out of the realm of possibility that we may never discover the ability to travel at the speed of light. The reason that this is so utterly terrifying is that our species would be assigned to sit and slowly watch all of the life on this planet we love so much die. Situations like this are the reason that our species should be focused on innovating space technology, as space is 100% in the future of our species, and the more we try to deny this fact to ourselves, the worst possible futures we set ourselves up for. I am hopeful that our species will have advanced far enough in 1 billion years to leave the solar system and either be living in space or on multiple new planets. While this may most likely be true, the most terrifying prospect is that no matter what planet we decide to inhabit, the star that the planet orbits will always suffer a similar fate to our sun. This is of course me addressing the potential end to the universe, that being the heat death of the universe. The heat death of the universe is the ultimate cosmic event that our species will have to prepare for, so without further ado. Number 1. The heat death of the universe. As was just previously stated, the heat death of the universe is a hypothetical end to the universe, which many scientists believe will be the ultimate fate of our universe. We have discussed the heat death of the universe on this channel before, but today we are going to be discussing how it could be possible for our species to live through the heat death of the universe, and whether there are any ways this could be possible, or will in fact our species come to its ultimate climax with the heat death of the universe. The heat death of the universe occurs when the universe evolves to a state of no thermodynamic free energy, and would therefore be unable to sustain processes that increase entropy. So essentially, all of the stars in the universe will die, leaving only the endless void of space behind. Some scientists do believe it is possible that the universe's expansion could eventually halt entirely and begin to retract, causing the universe to return to its pinhead state, and another Big Bang could potentially occur, starting off another universe. This process could possibly go on infinitely. Could this take place after the heat death of the universe? It is an extremely interesting question to propose. The reason that we must add this is because even though we have found evidence for the Big Bang, and we know that it happened, we do not know whether it was the ultimate start to the universe. It is possible, as we said previously, that it could be a part of an everlasting cycle that our universe goes through. How could our species potentially survive such an incredibly unsurvivable scenario like the heat death of the universe? The heat death of the universe could take septillions of years for all of the stars in the universe to die. The process of the heat death of the universe is a slow one. It began when the universe itself potentially began 13.8 billion years ago. In a sense, the heat death of the universe is comparable to the death of our species. We technically are slowly dying from the day we are born, and it is the exact same for the universe. So the fact that we have potentially septillions of years to come up with ways of prolonging the life of the universe is very reassuring. But the truth is, no matter how much we try and prevent it, unless a permanent solution is found, we will still find ourselves succumbing to the fate we are trying to avoid just a little later. Septillions of years is a number that we humans cannot comprehend. If our species happens to exist for this amount of time, and there is no limit to technological advancements, then it is not out of the realm of possibility that our species may discover that we do exist in an infinite universe with parallel realities. This could open up some ways that our species may be able to survive the ending of this universe. This could be through either traveling to an alternate reality, which is in the earliest stage possible for our species to be able to survive. If this is possible, then our species could hop from reality to reality when the conditions of the current reality we live in get too harsh. But if that is not possible, then perhaps there is some kind of way that we can survive the retraction of the universe and the subsequent Big Bang, which would start another universe. While these are some very interesting and creative ways that our species may survive the ultimate fate of the universe, all of this speculation could be in vain, as we could find ourselves at the end of the universe, as we know it, without a solution on how our species could survive it. So we would be assigned to sit back and watch the universe we have come to know and love destroy all that our species has created. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is 3 of the most bone-chilling cosmic events that we need to find solutions to. If you enjoy videos like this regarding many different speculative topics, then please consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Make sure you have a wonderful day today, and peace out, my friends.